What a great sighting, and just what a day. Some birding locations are scenic and beautiful, with enchanting forests and pristine lakes. Others can be urban and populous. But then, there are those that are both metaphorically and literally out of left field. Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Badgerland Birding. Today I am in an interesting birding location, a sod farm. And this is a great place to see a couple of different interesting species that make their way through in the late summer and early fall. So hopefully I can find a couple of them out here in this very eclectic birding location. During fall, sod farms can be surprisingly good birding locations for many different species. But the two I was most interested in finding on this day were the American Golden-plover and the Buff-breasted Sandpiper. Both of these birds are long-distance migrants that move south in the fall and turn up in areas with a lot of open space to forage. Almost as soon as I arrived, I saw a merlin, a small falcon species. Merlins are known to feed on shorebirds, so while I was excited to see one up close, in the back of my mind, I wondered if it would mean that my target birds had already been scared away. Even so, I continued on. With a lot of area to look through on the farm, I tried to narrow my search to the fields that looked like they had the best habitat. So this is one of the places you look for at sod farms this time of year, where the sod has actually been stripped away and you're left with a lot of soil. Now a lot of insects and other invertebrates will live in the soil and birds will gather to try to pick off this easy meal. And so if you look out here right now, there's a ton of gulls, and then there's also a lot of killdeer. So maybe there'll also be something interesting out here like a golden plover or a buff-breasted sandpiper. In addition to the gulls and killdeer, this field also had a few horned larks. I moved on to another spot where the sod had been harvested. Even from a distance, I could see the shapes of many birds walking around on the dirt. This looks like a really good spot to check. A lot of the sod has gotten pushed up here, and it looks like there's a lot of birds out there. So hopefully this could be a spot to get some American golden-plovers and even some buff-breasted sandpipers. The first species in this area that I noticed was the numerous killdeer, but farther out in the field was one of my target birds, the American Golden-plover. American Golden-plovers are impressive looking birds when in breeding plumage. They have a black underside, beautiful golden feathers on their back and wings, and a white marking that goes all the way from the bill to the shoulder. In non-breeding plumage, American Golden-plovers are buffy colored, with gold and brown speckled wings, back, and head. During certain times of the year, these birds will be halfway between breeding and non-breeding plumage as they transition. Like many shorebird species, American golden-plovers are long-distance migrants. They winter in southeastern South America and fly all the way to their breeding areas in Alaska and the northernmost parts of Canada. American golden-plovers feed mostly on invertebrates, including insect larvae and worms. They have also been known to eat some plant-based foods as well, including berries. This species hunts by running along the ground, periodically stopping to scan for food. American golden-plovers are most often found in the continental United States during fall migration. Some common places to find them are in agricultural fields, along lake shores, and at sod farms. In addition to the many American golden-plovers, there were also two other birds working their way across the sod. They turned out to be my other target bird species, the buff-breasted sandpiper. The buff-breasted sandpiper is a delicate-looking shorebird species with a very round head, relatively short bill, and an overall buffy tan color. They have darker colored feathers on the top of their head, as well as darker coloration on the feathers on their back and wings, giving them a scalloped appearance. These birds winter in the southern portion of South America. In spring, they make the extremely long flight up through the United States and into northern Canada. They end up breeding in the most northern parts of the country. Buff-breasted sandpipers primarily eat insects and other invertebrates that live along the ground. Some typical fare are earthworms, beetles, spiders, and grubs. This species has been known to walk along the ground as they forage, sometimes moving quite deliberately in search of prey. The best time to see these birds is during migration, fall migration in particular. They sometimes show up along beaches, but some of the best places to find them are open fields, and sod farms in particular. Wow, that was pretty epic. The two species I came to see got great looks at both, and these birds won't be around for too much longer, maybe just a couple weeks if that. So what a great sighting, and just what a day. Having seen both of my target species, I continued on to some other areas of the sod farm, finding mourning doves, Canada geese, a flying Wilson snipe, and Brewer's blackbirds in the process. Farther down the road, I came across an area with more American golden-plovers and killdeer. Along with them was another new species for the day, a black-bellied plover. Just got black-bellied plover in this field, so that's another one to add to the list today for shorebirds. I ended the day with a total of 14 species at the sod farm. Even though that isn't anywhere close to the largest number I found at one location, many of the birds I saw on this day can be difficult to find anywhere else. I've always thought that some of the best birding trips are ones that take you to interesting locations that you otherwise wouldn't have a reason to go to. The sod farm certainly fits the bill in that regard. I'm excited for the next interesting and eclectic place I will end up going to find birds. But until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.